how do you want to conduct yourself in war? Do you want to kill everybody in the room? And if you do, that's a valid strategy. It could help you win that battle, but will it help you win the war?
He's fucking faking he's dead. Yeah, he's breathing. He's faking he's fucking dead.
The impact of the whole mosque shooting seemed to be very muted, I think really across the board for America. And a big part of the problem was that very few people actually saw it. It ended up being on the internet, but it was never on broadcast television. This was a situation where the fighting that had occurred in that mosque happened the day before. 10 insurgents were killed, 5 were wounded, and the 5 that were wounded were treated by Marines who took over that mosque. But instead of being evacuated behind lines, they were left there. And the next day, one of the Marines connected to this unit went in, shot 4 of those men a second time, and shot one of them a third time in front of my camera when I got into the mosque. You know, I was working for NBC at the time as a freelancer, but I was also keeping an independent blog for myself. And at that time, I was also part of the Fallujah pool, meaning all the footage that anyone shot got put into a pool and everyone used it. So my footage ended up really everywhere in the world, on the BBC, on Al Jazeera, Fox News, you know, everywhere. But it was interesting, no one in America used the full footage. They all used the abbreviated portion where the actual shooting was blacked out. Most of the overseas networks used the full footage. And so Americans didn't get a chance to see what happened in Fallujah, in that mosque incident, but the rest of the world did. So I used my blog at that time to write the story again, but to tell all the details that I could, everything that I saw going into that mosque, everything that happened afterwards. But it also provided some multidimensional reporting that blogging really allows you to do. It allowed me to provide a personal viewpoint of what was going on, how I was feeling while I was covering these things that I normally wouldn't do in an NBC report. Plus, it allowed me to explain the role of my profession as a journalist, what we're supposed to do, another thing that you wouldn't do in a straightforward report. And I was able to do all those things, and I think it clarified for a lot of people what had actually happened there. It created this sense of understanding that had not come across in the story that we reported for NBC. And it made it clear to me at that point, really the power of the internet. You know, so eventually when I did come back to America and the opportunity at Yahoo came about, I felt not only was this a chance to do the kind of reporting that I had done with my blog, but I felt like I owed the internet something. I felt like, you know, this potentially saved my career. It allowed me to tell the story that I hadn't told on network news. It was a do-over. You don't get many chances at do-overs.